We're here in the Knox studio with Aaron, and I've noticed we've got a load of products dotted around. You've got the armoured shirt, base layers, leather jackets, waterproof jackets. How do all those products come together?
Well, they're actually all part of a brand new system that we've got called the Knox layering system. So really this for us is a new way of wearing clothing for motorcycling. So to move away from wearing one bulky jacket with everything inside to different layers to handling the riding and making the riding a better experience. So this would kind of start off with a base layer. That would be your first layer. That layer really handles the moisture management, keeps you dry and comfortable. Then we handle the protection element by an armoured shirt like this one on the mannequin here. Now this is going to handle the protection element of the clothing. Then we would have a mid layer if it's cold enough, and we've got different options for that. And then finally you've got an exterior jacket that's designed to go over the top with the unique dual fitting system. So it can expand to incorporate these extra layers, and then it can contract again when you don't want to wear them underneath.
So starting kind of at the lower levels, let's start with the protective shirt. Why would you opt for something like this over buying a jacket which already has armour built into it?
Well, I mean, actually, there's a lot of reasons for the Knox layering system. Firstly is the protective element of it. And, you know, we liken this to the idea of, you know, when you go and buy a motorcycle helmet, and look, you'll have bought them before. Did the salesman advise you to wear it tight fitting or loose?
Yeah, tight fitting.
Tight fitting. I mean, it's obvious. So the helmet doesn't move around in the event of an accident. Armour is exactly the same thing. So we're using armoured shirts to keep the armour in the right place. So it's tight fitting, separate to the exterior jacket, because when that jacket makes contact with the road, it can slip or move under impact. Now, by having an armoured shirt, this keeps the armour in place exactly where you need it in the event of a crash.
So something I like about the last stage, which is the leather jacket or the waterproof jacket, is the dual fit system that you've got, which basically lets you change the size of the jacket depending on whether you've got the armour or the base layer on underneath. But, you know, I think it comes down to style, whether people like to admit it or not. They want to look cool with their bike, whether it's because they've got a Jigsaw or a Supermoto or any bike. You know, they buy it most of the time because they think it's cool, but they're less likely to want to buy into looking cool themselves on the bike. But if you look back at what we consider cool motorcyclists, it's people like Barry Sheen riding around after a race with a fag in his mouth and his leathers unzipped, or someone like Steve McQueen with leather jacket on, and they're not walking in with a big one-piece waterproof, you know, rucker or something like that. You know, but what's nice now is that you've got that style, you've got that cool look where you can go into a pub after and not immediately scream that you're a biker, but you've also got the protection that you'd expect to get from a piece of motorcycle clothing with the style.
Yeah, absolutely. And those classic look riders like your Barry Sheens, like your Steve McQueens, you know, they were just making the best of what they had at the time. And what the Knox layering system about is kind of bridging the gap between the style and the actual function. So we think there's a real technical improvement to using a layering system like this, but by having things like the separate layers and the dual fitting system, we're enabling riders to get that style as well, and also handle the destination in a much better way. You know, so you can go ride your bike to a BSB. Just for an example, you could ride to a BSB with a great riding kit on, get there and take your armoured shirt off, zip the jacket back up, hey, and it's like you've turned up there in a car, you know, and you look great, you feel great, and you're comfortable.
So you've shown us around the studio today, you've shown us around the products, you've shown us Knox HQ. I think it's only fair if you come and spend the day with us. So we'll get you on a bike, we'll come up to your factory up in the Lake District and basically just have a bit of an excuse to get out of the office, ride some bikes and see how all the gear works in the real world.
Hey, sounds awesome. Sounds risky, but awesome. Yeah, let's do it.